All right, players are ready. Our casters ready, which is to say, are you ready, Spoon?
I am very much ready.
All right, let's ignite the signal flare, start the smoke signal, whatever it is they use to communicate over large distances in Viking times. Blowing the horn, I guess. Anyways.
And then Porgs making their cute little screech. I'm sorry. Their warrior screech. My bad. Sorry. Cute.
Their intimidating, frightening.
They are very
battle cry.
Very. I mean, have you seen their logo? The logo is if that kind of Porg like held me up, I'd be arms up in the air. You know.
They can take whatever they wanted from me. I would not resist. Now, speaking of resisting, Hell Porgs are absolutely going to be doing their best to resist the onslaught of Nord coming in to game number 2. They must take this game to have a chance of taking this series against Nord. I do need to adjust the score. This is a professional broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing but the best here. Anyways, as far as loadouts are concerned, it appears that Nord is going to be running more or less the same team comp. It worked very well for them in game number 1, that double ion tanky tie with the defender. Will Nord be changing up their team comp at all?
It does not look like they are, but Hellporgs, a little bit of adjustment to some of the loadouts there. We see Julius picking up a Proton Torp this time instead of Conch, so it looks like they are going to be going for a bit more OBJ this time.
All right, so they are running the 2-2 1 NR comp, and there is the fabled, the mythical gunboat Y-wing. Y-wing running proton torpedoes as opposed to Goliath missile. Very handy on a map like Nadiri where you may not need two. You can get away with not having 2 fully kitted out farm Ys or farm ties.
Definitely. I mean, just the big thing comes around taking advantage of it and hoping. Then we'll see how it goes with Porgs here tonight. Hopefully they can bring it back here and bring this to a 3-game series.
Here's hoping the gunboat Y is the secret sauce that Porg needs to take down the Nords. Here we go. Game number 2. Jackson, Minor 7th, Red, Gito Vandahar, and Julius Thread versus Sigid, Loki, Baldur, Thor, and Odin. Both teams running headlong into each other to the fields of battle in the center of this space station carved into an asteroid.
It's pretty good architecture. I think that's a good idea if you're trying to keep like a secret space station in the middle of an asteroid. It's pretty good.
Here we have Jackson lining up the AI Rediak, doing the same, but taking a bit of a bonk.
Oh.
But a near instantaneous flip from the side of Hellporgs.
But
Red does go down on the phase transition.
Yep, let's see how Hellporgs can take advantage of this early win. It looks like we're going to see Minor 7th lining up the ions here, getting off the Proton Torp, double ions. Looks like one hit. It looks like the Ion Torp. No, it did hit.
The Ion Torp did hit. Marks are now finally off. The light cruiser Charlie is now down. The shields are now down and ready for Hellporgs to unload that ordnance. And here we have Jackson lining up the Torp run with the gunboat Y. Currently unopposed.
It looks like Jackson is going to be just starting to get pressure there. They took down Julius. Julius was the other Proton Torp carrier. That is going to do a little bit of damage there to morale. Jackson's going to have to make up a lot of that damage there, and it looks like he is going to be getting some Torp runs in.
Minor 7th packing the double ions here for Hellporgs, getting ready to knock down shields on Delta. Excellent use of the additions and time. The shields on Delta are basically on the verge of collapsing, which is it sets up their next. It will set up their next offense quite well. However, unfortunately, it appears that Charlie will not be able to get to the point of being out of phase. By the time the phase is ended, and the phase has ended, it is time for Nords to come out with their first offense of the game. Can they return the favor and more?
Hopefully so. Although they did lose the main farmer here for Hellporgs there on the facelift. Though they do get a pick on the Nord support there, though. Also, Gito's in trouble there. A lot of back and forth going on here. Gito in a little bit of trouble there.
Thor was taken out, but not before getting marks. But unfortunately, Odin once again sent to the Odin sleep, trying to do Burt runs on the Nebula B, leaving Sigyn to be the only bomber from Nord Squadron still alive and doing runs on the Nebula B. But Sigyn is doing what a TIE bomber does best. Those beautiful, long, rotary runs. We love to see it, folks.
Indeed we do, and we're also seeing on the side of Hellporgs, though, we're seeing that quickly here, Nord is already caught up by the half morale to exactly where Hellporgs is, though Hellporgs is getting a nice boost of morale here. They're going to either get a kill here and flip it, as the Pancake's starting to come back in. That looks like a juicy target there, I don't say so myself. And then it does look like Miner agrees with me as he's starting to chase after that support. The support kind of looping around here.
It appears that Empire damage may be the secret sauce that brings Nord to the brink of having an out-of-phase, and yes, they do! They are able to end this offense phase with the Nebulon B well within out-of-phase range. Of course, it is up to the Nords to claim this bounty for themselves, as Hellporgs look to inflict some more damage on the Nords.
Although it does look like Nord is going to make the conscious decision not to take the out-of-phase on this attack either. Although, Miner going down in the process.
Miner going down, Jito getting dunked! The PK pressure from Nord Squadron is throwing a wrench into the plans of Hellporgs. Jito goes down, no support. No firepower from Miner's 7th. Hellporgs, now their best hope is to get that double out of phase. However, Charlie still isn't even in out of phase range yet, and we see Julius Thread working on Delta.
Yeah, we see him finally getting his first Proton Torp off on this attack right here. He's going to really need to pick up the damage here. Charlie also needs to be put into a little bit of a closer out of phase. Oh, he gets dunked and into the Raider. Although the Raider may have shielded him for a little bit there if he can get out here, but it does not look like he can. He's
Julius Thread.
He's hanging on by a thread.
3 hull and a prayer flying for their life through the center of Nadiri Dockyards, being chased by, I would have to assume, would be none other than Loki. I would be correct. Loki chasing Julius all the way back to Cruiser. Just in time for Nords to go on the offensive here.
Yeah, they got a little. The Hellporgs have got a little bit of time. It looks like they are going to be opting to be taking at least one of the out of phases, as we're seeing one of the flexes Miner working on one of them here. Or now he's heading back out. I guess he was maybe just getting it down a little bit lower, prepping for the next offense.
A very interesting situation. That last offense on the part of Hellporgs got stalled significantly, presumably because of the loss of Jito Vandahar very early on to that phase. They just without that support to bring in marks and resupplies, they just could not get a lot of damage in. So we're almost at a state of equilibrium here at the moment. But of course, the Nords are going to upset that balance if they have anything to say about it.
Hellporgs are definitely going to try. The morale is coming a little bit slower. They're definitely going to be able to secure at least a double out of phase here, although I think the morale is well enough here for Nord to be pushing through onto the flagship, unless the morale can come in a little bit quicker. Thor in a bit of trouble. Thor goes down here. They're going to have to stop that flagship attack with that, or at least go in without support. Thor does go down here.
Thor does go down, which means if they do go through to gut the MC-75, which is looking increasingly unlikely, they will not have marks. So, we are at a state here where both cruisers are at the state of being out of phase. Well, Raider is still up and doing orbits around Charlie. Hellporgs could here be making the conscious decision to just let Charlie be taken, and it looks like that's what they'll be doing.
It looks like they're opting to PK instead, as it does push through one of them. It's going to force them through, but the support for Nord is back out, and the Raider is up too. Might want to start looking at getting that support if you can.
That last cruiser goes down. The Nords have elected to sound the horn and come in on the offense. Probably looking to get at least a shield generator, but Thor on the support is 3.5 clicks out from the MC-75. Nowhere near close enough to get marks in. I don't think the Nords will be able to get much done here on this offense phase.
They got a little bit of damage on that left shield gen and starting to hit the right just a little bit. There's 3 of them in getting damage here. There goes the left shield gen. Oh, no, they didn't get it on that pass. Someone's going to have to go finish it off.
The phase has been, the phase is flipped, but Balder heroically flies in and gets that shield gen. So, While
Interesting. Hellporgs had the double out of phase. They had a double out of phase.
They did have the double out of phase and elected not to cash it in. But what that does mean is that they'll be guaranteed to have a full morale offense on this Star Destroyer, and they are going to need it. Because as we all know, the MC-75 is a very difficult fish to protect. It begs to be gutted.
Wow.
And here we go.
Judo was already in on the Star Destroyer, behind the engines at the phase flip. He went in and immediately got power.
Incredibly sneaky positioning here from the part of Gito Vandahar. Just getting the power system near instantly, too. One shield generate, neither shield... no, left shield generator has been dunked. Right shield generator is at half. They're electing to kill the remaining shield generator. Oh, no.
They just have to gut the Star Destroyer.
Alright, all they need to do is slice of the pizza. Power is down. Weak spots are available, but the morale for Hellporgs is tanking fast. And the death of Julius Thread does not help them.
They have to get it to out of phase here if they want to have any chance of winning here.
The Star Destroyer, of course, is practically child's play to out of phase. Those who know. Star Destroyer is at half health. However, Miner 7th is electing to fall back. It appears that Hellporgs might be choosing here to defend the MC-75, but Jackson is on Thor's tail. The Pancake being chased. 16 health, almost no shields.
Down goes the Pancakes, no marks.
No marks for Nords. This is a very defendable MC-75 from Hellporgs. The Nords are going to have to do this without marks.
Down goes another bomb. Down goes a bomber.
Sigid goes down, a huge source of damage for the Nords going with it. The last shield generator of the MC-75 is so close. A baby's breath away from destruction, but Odin is taking fire, trying to position for it. The shield generator goes down, but at what cost? Because Norden is now at below 30 health and getting chipped by the MC-75 and the PK from Hellporgs. I don't know if they'll be able to stay long enough. Nope. Odin goes down.
Raider is still up for Hellporgs. Hellporgs can grab the Raider there if they can.
If anyone was wondering who Loki was, the fact that they have now switched to a TIE Interceptor should clue you into their identity as they fly around a TIE Interceptor unloading on the MC-75. Nord Squadron has to gut the fish, and they have to do it now. The MC-75 is not so easily out of phase like the Star Destroyer, but the damage is coming in. Morale is at half. Nord can do it.
Hellporgs can also do it if they can secure this kill on Tor. There's the flip.
There's the flip.
The MC at? MC's at 15.
MC's at 6, 3, 2, 1. And that is game number 2 and the series.
Excellent work.
Nord Squadron defeats Grey Squadron Hellporgs in a convincing 2-0 win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely very strong showing there from Nord and Hellporgs. Honestly, both teams really was a lot of, again, another series of back and forth between the two of them here, but Nord ultimately coming out on top.
And here we look at the scoreboard. Sigyn coming out on top with 110,000, almost 1,100,000 cap ship damage. I mean, I guess I don't know Norse mythology, but I don't know if Sigyn is able to wield Mjolnir because they hit Hellporgs' cap ships like they had the Hammer of the God himself.
It definitely came across like that here tonight.
A valiant display from Grey Squadron Hellporgs. Let that not diminish that they had some very solid play this series, especially at the very end with Gito Vandahar sneaking in like he's the spy, and this is Team Fortress 2 out here to backstab the Imperial Star Destroyer, getting power and marks in nearly the instant the phase flips. Very, very slick play.
Definitely for sure. They're very strong from Nord.
Nord Squadron. Players that are not new to the scene, but the teams and the screen names are new, and they have made one hell of a first impression here in SCL Challenger. Getting the decisive 2-0 win here against a known property, Grey Squadron Hellporgs. Well done to the Nords. Now, I suppose we should see if